Okay, we're on. Welcome.
Thank you, and welcome to you. It's so nice to be here.
I know it's been a while.
It has been a while.
We
Lots
wanted
of
to do it. We wanted to do a little chat today on the creator, the fact that
mm,
we create our whole entire world, that we, from our thought into our action, from our action, into the next stage, the whole way along, we're creating a story. We're creating a movie as such. That's probably how I normally would describe it.
excellent. Yes, a movie.
Yeah, a movie that we're actually the rulers of our movie, that we're the directors, and that we have all these parts that we want played out and things that we want to learn and experiences that we want to have, and so we set it up along the way.
Mm.
And that then also though gives us the grace to be able to change it along the way. So we're holding all the everyone's parts, and we're able to actually change those parts if something needs adjusting, or if something, if we've learned something a bit quicker than we thought we were going to, so we can readjust along the whole way. So we just
Mm.
want to talk a bit more about creator today.
Mm. Yes, we certainly are the creator. I guess what I have been experiencing the last couple of days and is that we create all of it, and as you say, we do have the power to change it. And in those moments where we know what we don't want and we know what we do want, then that's when we sit in the emotion that whatever's being making us feel, and feel the discomfort of the emotion, and then we're able to actually take our power back. And there's a series of things. Nothing happens by chance. Like, we do create absolutely everything, and sometimes that's hard to grasp. But when we get that, that we are the creators, then when there's something that's not sitting with us as we would like, then we do have the power to change that. And I think the first step is to actually, feel into the emotion that's coming up around that so-called thing that we don't really want in our lives. Because we do have to accept everything, but we have the ability to change it.
Yeah.
So,
and that is part of that, when you said before about the being in our power, about that. So when we realize that we are creating this movie called our life, and we're able to go, okay, that is what's happening, and I'm going to own the shit out of that.
Yeah.
That's when we can start to be able to become quite conscious too.
Yes.
A lot of the time we think life's happening to us, not we're, creating along the way. So yeah, I've really noticed that. And the more and more you start to know that, and really allow that consciously to go, oh, okay, so I created this. What can I do with this part? Because this isn't cool with me. That you can start to pull some weeds and clean up. Because sometimes there is a bit of cleanup to do. There's a bit of stuff we need to, get rid of our grit. And so even the good, bad, and the ugly, as I say, is all needed in our world. And it doesn't have to be run from or hidden away or put in a box or any of those things. It's like, this is our movie, and this is what's out on the table right now. And let's, just it's a go for it space.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's actually, it's like you said about the awareness, and it's coming to terms with, I think actually the underlying part that is good to have an awareness around is the judgment. So when something turns up and we judge it as good or we judge it as bad, then we make it so we can stack more and more beliefs onto that. And so it's really, for me, I think, I'm not so, I'm getting really good whenever I start to have, emotions of sadness or anger or whatever, I can really go, okay, there's something that needs to be looked at. I need to get this emotion up, feel into the discomfort, and take my power back. But it's the same with the good as well.
Yes.
And so I'm learning to actually allow the good, bring the good and the so-called joy and all of those type of, or those movie scenes that are coming in, but not attached to those as well, and understand that they're just a part of the movie scene as well. So I feel like that judgment is, and that's an ongoing thing. I mean, we're always, I'm always going to judge, but just having the awareness around it and knowing that one's not better than the other.
No
it's all
way.
part of the scene. And from that, being able to take the power back and go, wow, I've created all of it. How amazing is that?
Mm-hmm.
And really coming from, and there's processes and things that that are awesome around that. And I might actually put one on this page because it's there's a really simple little process where you can start to look at all of the things that are showing up and
see what's what,
change them, and take your power back and expand.
And sometimes it is really difficult. Like, it's not, it's a learnt process to even be able to own your own shit. It is a process to be able to grab that and say, hey, I've created this. Whoops. Sometimes. Why would I create this sometimes? But we do, and those times when it is a why kind of a space, it's just saying that it's incongruent with your frequency or your radio station or your movie or whatever you want to say. It's just incongruent now. So that's when you can see it as a gift, because it's a gift of telling you that you actually need to change stations right now.
Yes, I love that.
It doesn't have to be, oh my God, do I have to go through this? It can be, this is just not, it's incongruent. It's just not working for me. It's grating against me. My energy cannot cope with this anymore. So let's shift it into feeling good.
Yeah, love that. Yes.
Yeah, that then helps us. And breath, like Abraham always says, just get in your vortex, get in your vortex, get in your vortex. Because a lot of the time when the grating happens, or the weed pulling, as I would say, we're out. We get out.
Yeah.
We're not sure what to do with that, or it feels too uncomfortable and we don't want to sit in it. But when we're not in our vortex, sometimes it's not the best place to make decisions and, really big things that you want to land, because it's actually hanging out here. You're just actually hanging in the storm, in like the cyclone part, that when you're in a cyclone or whatever, the eye of the storm is calm.
Yes.
So all the rest of it outside of here,
love that metaphor. Yes,
it's crazy. It's crazy, and you feel so off balance and off guard and off the whole way off. So yes, we're creating our movie and doing what our things, but like a process is that just taking your breath, doing the processes that Robyn will put up, and having tools that you can check in on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really important to have the tools, like whatever works.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I've been playing with is that we do, like the law of attraction, we as you said about the frequencies, we send things out, also receive.
Yes.
And that has been another amazing sort of unfolding, and it's still unfolding, but when those thoughts and those people are coming in, playing their part in the movie, it's really, you can still choose whether you want to receive those things, and you can choose how they're going to play out.
How you receive it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you react or if you just allow.
Yes, because I think that's the that's the whole unconditional part of it. Again, with the judgment, not saying it's this or that, staying curious.
Yes.
That was one of those great sayings, swap your cleverness for bewilderment.
Yeah, nice.
That is just gold. Funny, I could remember it more often.
Yes.
It's perfect. It's really perfect.
Yeah. And the other word that I really love at the moment is that courage to really say yes, to really move forward, to really go into spaces that you haven't discovered within yourself or within your world or within your movie.
Absolutely.
To be able to go, because it feels like to me that I use the pot a lot, that brew and our pot, and diving in and getting deeper with ourselves in every step that we take.
Yeah.
And to dive in and go into who we really are. There are so many parts because we've just surfaced a lot of the time in our lives. And once we start digging in, it's like, whoa, do I really want to go here? Because there normally is, along the process, a clean-up time or a time to pull some weeds, and they can feel yucky at times.
Yeah.
But once you start to realise the gold that happens once you do that and go right through that,
yes,
absolute bliss.
Yeah, it is bliss. And that's interesting because there's there's lots of processes, but one where you can actually preempt, disasters and things, and actually take them to the so-called disastrous ending and release a lot of emotion in that. So you don't even need to be in the situation. You can just create it because it's something that will possibly come up.
Yes.
So, having the courage to actually, start to see what it is. And we know the things that push our buttons. We know our triggers. And then, coming into that thing and just making that the most disastrous thing ever, playing it all out, letting the emotions come out and then taking back your power from it. So, you can do it really in a comfortable environment. In a safe
the actual thing doesn't then have to happen.
Doesn't need to happen, no, because it's just the emotions are coming out. It's all, so that, I think courage is it's so important. It is so important.
Just to be ourselves, just giving ourselves permission to be ourselves, good, bad and ugly, can be pretty scary sometimes, but so worth it.
Oh, so worth it. I had a situation this week where there was an incongruency, and it's you don't know these things until you know them. And when you know them, there's no point beating yourself up. You just go, oh, okay, wow. And then you have the courage to dive into it. And I felt like a scolded child at times from this person, and that was all good. I just sat in it. And then the most amazing sort of completion came from that. And it was all sort of around money, and it was just such a gift. And it's that old thing, you don't know what you don't know. So when you feel it, when it sort of starts to happen and you feel into it, just have the courage, dive in, and it really isn't that painful.
That's right.
The end result is just divine.
Beautiful. I love it when people say lean in. Just lean in a little into that, so it's not as scary, or you're not like, I'm just jumping and who knows what's going to happen. But it's that little lean in that it's just, to me, that adds in that part of that sensuality as well into you're bringing your power as you lean in. So it's quite sexy to me to lean in.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm just here like, you just have that little bit of curiosity and courage to lean in a little, and just once you do that, you more or less end up in there anyway. Most of the time. So, but if you're a bit scared to, or you notice, as a person that you step back a lot, have those moments of, I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. It's like, just how can you lean in? Work out what that little step can be to just lean in a little, because a lot of the time that's when you just go straight through anyway.
Yeah, you do.
Where you need to be anyway, but you can do it gently. It doesn't have to be any force or any, you have to, really, there's no rough. It doesn't have to be any rough anymore. The energy's lightened up so much around us all lately.
Oh, it has, It has lightened up, I think that's, part of the well, that's what's sort of unraveling for me. It's, just like you said before about grace. It is just grace. And the minute you make the decision to go on the journey, you need your courage and all the rest of it, but it really is very quick now. It's all just shifting.
Isn't it? I even noticed that, that quickness, like even I was saying to you about my little ring thing, and the turnaround in that happened for me was so quick. And it was part of, I even had to sit in my little meditation, and I've got this amazing like emerald green cape with a hood and everything. And there was this whole thing about nature and nurture and me having to like just, really care for myself and really take a breath, really get back into my cycle and back into my natural space of who I was, because a few things had been going on out in this storm part. And it's like, I just wanted to get back. And to me, nature is the biggest way to ground, to root, to really feel in and find that ebb and flow of who you are, that infinity symbol, just. So I found things that, because I wasn't sure about this ring thing. I wasn't sure where I was going with it. So I just like, how do I find this? And it's a new part of me too, my kind of a deeper part of my witchy space. So to have my cape and everything, and I just sat down, and it was bloody hot, but I did it anyway, and just sat in this space and all this energy, and I just let it happen. It wasn't that I had to, I need to go into meditation and make this work. It was like, just sit in what space you need with what tools you need, and be in that space. I really, really felt into that. And once I did that, I had my hood on, and then I just took my hood off as I was like becoming and leaning in and leaning in. And once that happened, this whole commitment thing to myself, commitment to allowing relationship into my life at a very deep level compared to what I ever have, really showed up. So that was my representation, was the green also, because of that nature, nurture, and allowing.
Wow.
And I knew I had some green wool downstairs. I was like, who has green wool? I had green wool because it was exactly what I needed. And that was that instant manifestation for me. Wow, look at that green, because that nature part was a really important part for me yesterday. And so I just happened to have green wool that represents. So I made myself a little bow, and it's been amazing. It's been really amazing to come to me on that level.
And that feels exactly like when you take the, if you want to sort of release some emotions and take your power back because certain situations trigger you.
Yes.
You've done exactly the same thing. You've just, it's so-called good or a nice one,
in a beautiful way. Yeah.
I love that. And neither one is better or worse, but it's all just about taking your power back. And that's,
and then sitting in it, sitting in that power and seeing what's next. So beautiful.
Because it's all the creation that it's your movie. Bestseller.
Yes.
Blockbuster.
Movie so far. I'm enjoying the ride.
Yeah. Me too. Absolutely enjoying the ride. I think that whole, the allowing and the, I know for a long time I was, looking to the future and, thinking about the past and all the rest of it. And now having that fuller understanding of the present moment, how everything is. And when you can start to be in that more and more, and you make decisions from the place of now, you can just do so much. You can bend time. You can do whatever the hell you want. And well, for me, I'm feeling there's less and less shoulds in my life.
Yeah.
What I feel like right now. And today I had an amazing experience in the mountains, which just, you talk about nature, it's just divine. Just, so blessed to be able to have that running as my movie today.
And we all have access to it. That's what I love. You know, it doesn't matter how it is, even if, you know, you can't be outside or can't get your feet on the ground or you can have a flower in the room, or even a fly can be, you know, a way to connect.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, it's letting go of the judgment. And I'm sort of feeling into that more and more. It's still it's just an ongoing part of it. So so I really would love to share this process, very simple process about how you can, you know, look at the triggers and start to take your power back.
Beautiful.
And also that one where you can sit in it and in a really safe place, but you can have the courage to step into it because you know that you're creating it. Which again, which keeps the, well, for me, it actually helps me to really see that I am creating everything, even though, you know, sometimes I think, no, that can't be me.
That's right. What?
No. That's them. But really, starting to appreciate all of it and letting go and just on and on we go.
The other thing that I've really noticed lately with that, like, you know, we can have that acknowledgement and do our breaths and do our processes and but when we're in relationship, doesn't matter, partner, friend, it doesn't really matter. The other big key that I've been noticing lately is when we put it on the table, you know. So the other part of we create our own movie is our stories in our head that we create, which aren't really part of our movie because they haven't come out and they're not getting played out just yet. But there's these stories that send us crazy, can send us loopy, because most of the time, 99% of the time, they're not real. They're like, it's so much illusion and so much just because of our experiences, or, you know, how we've learnt different things and what we then attach to all of that or judge on all of that. Is like, that person just rolled their eyes at me, they think that I'm an idiot. You know, it's like, how do you know unless you've put it on the table? So there's that space. That's a gold tool for me that I've learned over the years, and it's in communication, I guess. And that if say I had an issue with you, Robyn, it would be, Robyn, can we create the space to be able to, I would love to share something with you. You know, that then allows that space that you're just, you know, holding this space. So there's no, that judgment and all that sort of stuff somehow, you know, it drops off when you hold the container. And so I can share, well, you know, this is what was showing up for me is that truth. You know, so it gives you a real chance. And I've really noticed it lately that when you're creating these stories, the crazy stories in your head, the more you play them out over and over in your head, the more they're more likely to come out into your life and into your movie as well. You know, because it's like, well, I think they think this, I think they think this, I think that, so there they are thinking that, you know, like where it was not actually so from the beginning. So to just lay it out on the table, it's like show, you know, when they say an open hand, like put your open hand out for cards or whatever, that it's like, here's my thing, I'm putting it all out on the table, this is it. And if it's coming from your truth, then it is a really beautiful thing to do with kind of relationship.
So beautiful.
But especially our partners, like especially our partners. Because you're so much closer and you can get so, you know, caught in story because, you know, that you love them.
I totally agree. And I think it's there was another quote about something about the truth pill. I can't remember it, but it's perfect because honesty is the answer. It's absolutely the answer.
We have to be honest with ourselves first, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then whatever it's around is usually a shadow. So that's I love that. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, there's a lot of owning up, isn't it? Owning our stuff and looking at habits that we might do, or, you know, things that we might do that actually don't serve us anymore either. So it's like, oh wow, I always do that to manipulate this, or to get my own way on this, or to whatever it may be. When we start owning all those bit more dirtier kind of spaces that we don't actually like, then we can adjust that too, so that we can receive so much beauty and grace.
And I think with that, it's also that I owned quite a few shadows. I did a course in Tasmania. And, you know, some of them I really didn't even, I was like, hang on a minute. But being able to actually see the good and the bad in those. So one of them I spoke to you about was I am a penetrator. And that was huge for me. But it allowed me to see the good in both. And that's just absolute gold. Isn't it?
You can then feel into that whole spectrum, because, you know, the good and the bad, or, you know, what black and white, it doesn't really matter. There's always a spectrum, and we have a choice. You know, when we're living consciously, we have a choice of where we want to live on that spectrum. So it's like, oh yeah, I've been living up here, or I've been living down here, but that harmonizing that, ideally, it brings that wholeness, because with energy itself, it is neutral as such. It's something that happens that gives it a positive or a negative, and I don't know the full science, whatever, but, you know, in ideally, you know, there is no love or hate, there just is. It just is.
Absolutely.
It's just our experience and our beliefs and all those things that attach to a certain part of the spectrum. Then we just believe it to be so. We just keep going with that until it starts grating us, and we have to rip it out. Rip it out.
And then that's the process, and then we start it again. We go again. Next one.
And then we go again. Next stepping stone. Yeah, it is. My word this year is consistency. And it just keeps going. But we can choose to ride that wave really beautifully, like I say about, you know, living your orgasm. You can choose, or you can be climatic, and it's a lot harder and sometimes a lot longer along the way, because you've got to go so far up and so far down to be able to, again, that sort of is part of the spectrum the other way. We can just ride it out.
I like that. Just the
totally. I do too. I much prefer a orgasmic life over a climatic one.
Been there, done that.
Exactly. Lived and learnt a lot because of it, but choosing something different now. And that's just that evolution of who you are, isn't it? Like that you get to a point that you go, that's worked for me until now. Now I'm in my now moment. I'm not in the future. I'm not in the past. I'm just now. And it might not serve you anymore. So
totally.
All right, how do we want to wrap this up? Because we're nearly half an hour.
Well, I guess, don't take yourself too seriously. That's one of my big over the last couple of months. And, just be open to whatever turns up. So, and I think, you know, I will share this process, and I think that's really helpful, just to be able to, and again, it's a practice. You've got to practice it. It's like anything, consistency. If you want to make some changes, then you need to actually do the action. And I just invite everyone to have a go. Start to play with what's showing up and what you're creating and what you don't want to continue.
I really like it. Yeah, because we are the creators. That's what what we started this talk with. You know, that we are the creators of this movie.
Exactly.
And
yes.
what do you want to create?
Yeah.
And how do you want to create it? You know.
Yeah. And what do you need to let go of, and what do you want more of, and
what tools do you need along the way? What serves you? You know, the whole bit.
Yeah.
So know that Robyn and I are both around.
Yes.
If you have any questions or any, you know, we'll post these in all our bits and pieces.
Yeah.
In our pages and wherever we need to, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
get it out there.
And we love questions.
Yeah, we do. Love a good question.
Love a good question. Well, it helps us create too. Helps us be in our feminine, and then we're able to create all of that and bring it out in our masculine. That's what this is. This is our action. It's like, here we are. We're going to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have an amazing day, everybody.
Yes, have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time. Won't be so long.
No, it will not. Enjoy.
All right. Be beautiful. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.